The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good morning and welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. First, let me apologize for yesterday. Ran into a bunch of technical issues and wasn't able to join y'all live yesterday. But don't worry about it. We're just recycling the content we had for yesterday today. And I got my brother Pedro with me this morning. Good morning, Pedro.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Yeah, so, but yeah, no, you know how it is. The technology, I keep telling y'all, that's why we don't have our self-driving cars yet. Them glitches, man. You know what I'm saying? Technology, it's always, you never know when it might fail you. You're right. And you don't want them cars failing you while you're on the freeway doing 70 miles an hour. So it makes sense. But anyway, we got a couple of very interesting tech groups for you this evening. We're dealing with our interest group. So at 5, we have AI for beginners with the BU crew. I mean, me and George and Pedro. You know, we all throw our 2 cents in there. You know, we all got a little different tweaks and prompts, and you know, we all do it our own little way. But we're just trying to help you get used to using it, so that you can learn how to use it before it learns how to use you, right? And then, of course, right behind that, Pedro, he's got his advanced technology, so ain't no telling what he got up his sleeve. Huh? You already know what you're doing tonight, Pedro, or are you just going off the cuff?
Well, I was I was gonna go and show off the live guess live streaming is what they're calling it across all of them. It's like live AI but with video feed and all that. But I was gonna do it on Gemini and on ChatGPT and try to compare both with what they do so people could get a better understanding on what's capable with both of those that are on your phone. I'm not doing the Ray-Ban Metas, that's a whole other thing. These are
Another
on the
group.
phone. Yeah, this is on the phone. They have more megapixels on their cameras. So I wanted to
Right.
put them head to head. I done this before. I did this with Seeing AI, Be My Eyes, and what else? Another application. Um, but and I put them head to head with each
Right,
other with the
right,
same picture as a description, and we got the results off of that. So it's something similar to that. If anyone has joined
right.
me in my class,
Well,
but
then we got something new we might share with y'all as well, but sound like it's going to be an all AI night. You know, starting with AI for beginners, and then we're going to jump in later on with my brother here and comparing AIs, you know, phone versus desktop, all that kind of stuff. So come on in, check us out. Like I said, starting at 5 o'clock. So uh, get into these articles. Like I said, I did recycle them from yesterday. So this first one is oh boy, and all these damn sweeps, and well now he getting ready to start feeling the pinch. Well, we're going to feel it more than him, but it's starting to show the effects of his actions. So check this out.
Morning, Blind United crew, and happy first day of July. For our first cup, we're looking at the unintended consequences of a major government policy and how immigration enforcement is having a powerful effect on America's farms and food supply. While federal immigration enforcement and roundups are often debated as a political issue, a very real and measurable economic impact is being felt in the nation's agriculture and meat industries. These sectors, which are vital to our food supply, are heavily dependent on an immigrant workforce. Increased enforcement is now creating significant labor shortages, leading to warnings from industry leaders about potential disruptions to the food chain. It is a long-standing and verifiable fact that America's farms and meatpacking plants rely on immigrant labor. Economic studies and data from the Department of Agriculture consistently show that a large percentage of workers in these physically demanding jobs are foreign-born, and a significant portion of those are undocumented. For decades, this workforce has been essential for planting, harvesting, and processing the food that reaches our grocery stores. Recent increases in interior immigration enforcement, or even the threat of them, have created a climate of fear that has led to immediate labor shortages. In farming communities across the country, reports have emerged of workers not showing up for their shifts, fearing they or their family members could be detained. This has left farmers in a desperate position, especially during critical harvest seasons for fruits and vegetables, with some having to leave valuable crops to rot in the fields for lack of available workers to pick them. The meat industry is facing a similar crisis. Meatpacking is demanding work that has also come to rely on a largely immigrant labor force. When plants are faced with a sudden loss of workers due to enforcement actions, they are forced to slow down processing lines. This not only affects the company's output, but can create a bottleneck in the national supply chain, impacting everything from livestock prices for ranchers to the availability and cost of meat for consumers. This has created a complex situation where some of the strongest voices calling for stable immigration reform are from these traditionally conservative industries. Farming bureaus and meat industry associations have been actively lobbying for a reliable, legal guest worker program, arguing that a stable workforce is essential for a stable food supply. They contend that without a workable solution, Americans could face higher food prices and increasing reliance on foreign imports to meet demand. The conflict between immigration policy and the economic needs of our food industry is complex. We invite you to not only share your thoughts on how to balance enforcement with economic reality, but also share in the comments if you've noticed any changes in food prices or availability that you think might be related to this issue. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Wow, it's getting ready to get rough. Man, this stuff is crazy. I mean, we got fruit rotting on the vine. We got, because the farm workers scared to come to work. Those that are still here, I mean, we got the whole meat industry. Besides agriculture, now we talk about meat, the cattle ranches and all that stuff. They don't have the workers to tend to the herds and all that kind of stuff. You just heard them talking about the meat packers. They not coming to work. Those that are still around. Plus, I mean, again, look at what ICE is doing. Do you think they got any issues about walking up into a meat packing plant? They'll walk right up in there. They don't care. They, just like they ran out on them farms, just like they'll run out, on them cattle ranches, all that stuff. They don't care. When you have a 3,000 a day quota, these folks they just grabbing anybody that looks like they might be illegal. You know what I'm saying? In an effort to try to meet that quota, and it's killing us. He don't care. He don't care. He don't care. I'm sorry. It's my opinion. The man he's not going to feel it. When you're sitting there and you got billions of dollars sitting in the bank, do you care how much a steak costs? You don't care. It only affects us down on this end that have to watch prices of things. You know what I'm saying? And who's gonna be able to buy the food? The guy with the billions of dollars in the bank, or the people that's, they're gonna make sure that they got it provided for that upper class, and we're gonna deal with all the shortages. So anyway, that's my opinion. Let me quit rambling on this. This is crazy, man.
Yeah, as if you wanna put yourself in the like like per se what they say. Put yourself in the other person's position. Think about this. Would you like your mother, sister, brother to go to work and maybe not have them come home, not know where they might get deported to? Would you like a family member to go to work in those conditions? That's
Right.
what we gotta put ourselves in those people's shoes. Yes, this is it's an issue. It's a very issue, but the way they're doing it is unconstitutional. They're far passing the law. They're violating citizens' rights as well, just trying to meet a quota. Um, having masked law enforcement, and you don't know if they're law enforcement because they don't show you anything. They just wrap you up, put you in the car, as
Well,
we
not only
see.
that, Pedro, they hired so many people to do these roundups. They ain't had time to get them uniforms. They out there like they plain clothes or whatever. I mean, goddamn, you can't have the minimum like the FBI does. Got the windbreaker, say ice on it or something. Besides your badge. But then when you come with the mask, they don't know who you are. You could be the jack man. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, yeah.
ridiculous, man.
And look, we have people that have voted for this administration thinking the economy's going to get better. Yes, we're going to get the criminals, but the truth is they wanted everybody gone, and you are feeling it. These farmers that are bosses and owners are starting to see it. Florida went through something similar when Ron DeSantis did something similar with the stop and ask or something like that. I forgot what it was, but they were asking people for papers and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Everybody started leaving the state, and they had a farmers issue.
right.
And that was before this whole thing right now. If they were able, if they were about making sure their citizens were taken care of and no problems were going to happen, they would have done it a different way. They
Well, I
don't
mean, let's
think.
keep it 100, man. The I'm sorry, just for discussion, right? The immigration process here in America is so daunting, right? That a lot of people they can't do it from home. They actually have to do it from here, right? Then they get here, then it ends up being so expensive, so long and drawn out, right? All this other kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But meantime, they are working. They are adding to the economy. They are paying taxes, whether they're paying it on a paycheck or whether they paying it at the store when they buying groceries, buying gas, buying,
Mhm.
just living life in America. You're still paying taxes, right? So
Yes,
they're adding to our economy and they're providing a need.
yes,
Because again, they done did all this union busting. We don't have a farm workers union no more. We don't have a meat packing union no more. With all these unions, you done got rid of them. So now don't nobody want to do all that hard work for them little coins you want to give away. The only people that's going to do that is these immigrants. And now you rounding them up. You sending them home. You know what
yes,
I'm
yes.
saying? We're losing our labor force. We're losing revenue. We're losing the whole thing. Plus, look how inhumane this stuff is. Come on,
Yes.
man. Let's just fix this system and make it right. Make a way for people to get in there.
Yes, the system is so diluted with so many turns and loops that have you jumping through that if you come to the border, right? And let's get it straight first of all. There is no open border policy on the books. There is no laws. If you go look it up, there's nothing about open border policies. They might been more people claiming asylum because of what's happening in their country. And look, think of this. We've been, as the United States, our government, and I'm not going to say we because it's our government, has been in different countries, even in Central America, Southern America, with what they've been doing. There's history lessons. You could go look it up, you could go read. But you have people coming to the border seeking asylum. They get turned away. even with their government. Their government might even prosecute them. Their government might even take benefits away due to the conditions and things that have happened in Central America, due to what happened in the 80s, in the 70s over there as well. And people migrated due to the conditions that were brought upon the conflicts and the foreign government meddling we were doing. Well, our government was doing, and
Right.
we have to take that into account. We can't just shove our heads in the sand and say this problem has started because of what has been happening, and we have to know our history and know what's been happening even in our atmosphere, that is the North America. That means these three countries up here, but even Central America, what's happening over there, and Southern America. We've been interfering, and then we have groups of people that get upset, especially in government, that people are coming to the border, but they're all for war. I remember MAGA says, therefore, no wars, right? Well, there's one starting
Well,
right now, and 97%, according to a new poll, MAGA agrees. And MAGA will always agree wherever Trump goes. Trump says it, that's word, and they will go with it. We have to understand that. War is not off the table. It's always been there. It's always been there. So we have to remember, we don't want to start new conflicts and have new conditions where we are going to have people needing help and coming over here, because this is the
I'm
greatest
surprised he
country
hasn't
of
went
the world.
and grabbed up all the Iranians and got them out of here.
Oh, believe me, this don't even say it, because it's going to start going certain
Well, I
that
mean, I
way.
know there's a big, large community of them in Northridge.
Look, you can tell, and this is beyond our subject we're covering, but with the new win in New York, the Muslim uh dude, Zoran, they're already framing him as a communist. They're framing him as
Well,
a socialist, and it's coming from our own government. They're talking about he's this, he's that. They're
well, that's
making
Trump and his rhetoric, man.
no, but there's even some Democratic people that said some negative comments, and it's shameful
Well,
because he
and this,
won.
I'm not gonna say this now. I've only heard it coming from the right, but
Hmm.
I'm not saying that you don't have some other folks. But bottom line, it don't matter. This man has been here. You know what I'm saying? He's
Hmm.
working for the state, for the city of New York. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to do right by the people. The
Yes.
freedom of religion. He can be a Muslim if he wants to.
Hmm.
We got Muslims in Congress.
And why, Ed? Because this is the best and the greatest country in the world. But when you have a regime like the one in power right now, it gets a little shaky. It gets shaky. Look
Well,
at
I
our
mean, again,
farmers. Look at
because
our
he's
farmers, man. People voted in that sector, voted for this, and they're having problems with their livelihood. People voted against their livelihood.
well. I mean, look at the thing, and it made it through the Senate, but it made it through the Senate by the
Hmm.
by the thinnest. Again, three Republicans voted against it, so JD had to step in and be the tiebreaker. It was 50-50. You know what I'm saying? People are tired of this, and then now that bill's back down in the Congress, and there's people that I don't know, man. This bill I don't think it's gonna get passed because he wants to rush it because the more this is in the news, the more it's in the public, the more it's coming out about what's in this bill, and the more people
Hmm.
don't want it. So again,
Hmm.
this whole government thing is just crazy. So anyway, we at that point in our
Hmm.
schedule, my brother. So let's go ahead and run a couple promos, and then we'll get into the next one.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United. Blind United. Did you know that people in third world countries do not have access to canes? The You Cane Give initiative gives canes to people all over the world who cannot get canes. The You Cane Give initiative not only goes to these countries and gives people canes, but they give people canes and a digital recorder that is solar powered that has instructions on how to use the cane and instructions on how to repair the cane. The You Cane Give initiative is a very worthy cause, giving canes to blind people all over the world. If you have a cane that you're no longer using, or a cane that's broken or bent, you can go to youcanegive.org and get a shipping label, and you can ship your cane to Jimmy in Tennessee, and he will refurbish it and give your cane to a blind person in a third world country. That website again is youcanegive.org.
Well, with this administration, we might not be able to get a cane here shortly. There ain't no telling. But anyway, right quick in the comments, Tisha says she agrees with you, Pedro. And then Katie Taylor says she, yeah, Katie, again, this bill is going to, the numbers vary, but I've seen numbers as high as $5 trillion to the deficit, so this stuff is crazy. Anyway, this next one is about, AI. We're talking about AI tonight, right? Ain't that the one that's next in line, Pedro? So artificial intelligence?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, again, we try to teach, for beginners. This here is kind of like a warning of things that you should not do with chat. So check this out.
Hey, Blind United crew. For our next cup, let's talk about a tool many of us are using more and more: artificial intelligence. While AI chatbots like ChatGPT can be incredibly helpful for some tasks, it's crucial to understand their limitations, as a great deal of analysis points out some serious risks. AI can be fun and useful for trying new recipes, learning a foreign language, or planning a vacation, and it's even getting high marks for writing software code. Still, we should not give chatbots like ChatGPT carte blanche in everything we do. The technology is not good at everything, and in fact, it can be downright sketchy at a lot of things. The core problem is that AI sometimes hallucinates information that it passes off as fact. It may not always have up-to-date information, and it's incredibly confident, even when it is completely wrong. That matters when the stakes get high. For example, you should never rely on an AI for high-stakes personal health and safety matters. While it can be helpful for drafting questions for your doctor or translating medical jargon, it is not a substitute for a medical professional. It cannot order lab tests, examine you, or provide a real diagnosis. In a mental health crisis, it can offer grounding techniques, but lacks the genuine empathy, lived experience, and professional training of a human therapist. And in an immediate emergency, like a fire or gas leak, every second spent typing is a second not spent evacuating or calling 911. Similarly, using AI for high-stakes financial and legal matters is incredibly risky. Chatbots cannot replace a certified public accountant who knows the latest tax codes and can find personalized deductions. Likewise, they cannot draft a legally binding contract or a will that holds up in court, as laws vary greatly by state. A critical risk is also privacy. Any confidential business data, personal financial numbers, or other sensitive information you enter into a chatbot can be stored on third-party servers and used to train future models, creating a major security vulnerability. This all comes down to understanding that AI is a tool, not an expert. Using it to cheat on schoolwork, for example, not only carries real risks of expulsion, but also cheats you out of an education. Relying on it for things that require real-time, up-to-the-second information, like breaking news, can leave you with an incomplete picture. The bottom line is that AI is best used as a study buddy, a brainstormer, or an assistant, not as a replacement for accredited human professionals when your health, finances, or safety are on the line. Disclosure: CNET's parent company, Ziff Davis, has a lawsuit against ChatGPT maker OpenAI. Understanding the limits of AI is becoming a critical skill in our modern world. We invite you to not only share your thoughts on when AI should and should not be used, but also share in the comments a story about a time when AI was either incredibly helpful or surprisingly unhelpful for you. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I mean, again, I use AI all the time. I know my brother Pedro uses it all the time. I mean, tonight we're talking about AI all night, right? And it is because of these things that we're talking about it. You know, we're trying to teach you how to use it and how that you probably should not use it. You know, I mean, it's your business what you do, but we just need to make sure that we kind of warn you on way how to use it and what to use it for, right? But I mean, again, it's a great tool. They all do, the different models do different things, but again, as it says, it's not an expert. I mean, I've had to talk to mine and, well, train it. I'm saying talk to it because that's how often I'm on it, right? But anyway, it's basically train it to don't give me any content that's not factually verifiable. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do everything I can to make sure that it doesn't hallucinate. So learning how to use it is really important, and learning what not to use it for is double as important, because again, as I said, imagine giving it all of your credit card information and all that stuff, storing it in there. Now it's on a third party server. Now they got all your information, and the sad part is, without realizing it, you gave it to them willingly. So anyway, that's my piece on it. Go for it, Pedro.
Yeah, falling dependent on it is an issue. There's several types of issues, especially on, you know, taking health advice is not a good use of the AI. It can break down some of your results and can clear them out for you, give you the definition of some of these large words that that are in some of these tests, can make a little understanding of these numbers, can even give you relevant questions if you are trying to ask something to your doctor, to your physician. You may have questions of something on your test, and you looking at it as a regular person, as a person that doesn't have any medical experience, can get an AI that has been trained on pre-review papers, but been trained on even the definitions, but you cannot depend on that as a factual and actual physical doctor. But utilizing it to understand your results, understand your lab work, it's a great utilization of the technology, able to kind of have that intermediate person, like that helpful assistant that just knows everything almost. But just like, this virtual assistant, you have to remember, you have to double check, you have to train it as well on information, especially when it comes to creating information. You do see online people creating information off AI and spinning things around, you know and some of these things are unfactual, but people are sharing and sharing and sharing, and it gets into, around. And even some of these stories online, and even if it's not AI, it's been even fake stories, but some AI has leaked into national news or local news, and they have to sometimes retract certain things. But you know, this technology is a new front for us in public light, in the public sphere. So we have to treat it with with trial carefully, especially when it comes to privacy, like Ed was stating. Your card number or even social security and stuff. You don't want that out there. They do train the
None of
AIs
that.
with the data that they do obtain. Do read their policies. And another good thing about this type of technology that can summarize these long policies. You want to know about AI, OpenAI's policy? Grab it and dump it and have it summarized. Start asking questions.
Right.
Have questions about terms and conditions on Apple's products and software? Grab
Like I
it,
said,
dump it,
it's
and get it
great for
straight.
like I said, it's great as a study buddy. You know what I'm saying? You
Exactly.
can learn a lot of different stuff with it. And something else everybody really needs to pay attention to. I mean, like right now in California, we got a bill going through our house here in the California about putting guidelines and regulations on this stuff. And then on the other side of that, you got Ted Cruz over here trying to slide a piece into the big disastrous bill
The big,
about
the big
not
fat
being
murder
able,
bill.
about not being able, giving them free reign for 10 years. No, you imagine where you could be at with AI in 10 years. Look, it's only been available to us less than a year. I mean, a year at the absolute most as far as it being available to us. But my point being, look how far it's gone so far. Look how
Yes.
many new startups you have popping up, every day, every week, every month of new AI models. You know what I'm saying? Doing different things. We need guidelines on this stuff. We can't just allow
And
this stuff to run them up.
yes, this is a part of AI that we do need to talk about is policy. I've been saying this for a long time. We've been talking about it on coffee time. Um, what was his name? Peter, right?
You talking about from a PixieBot?
No, not the one from the person that is saying that let's give him free reign for 10
Oh,
years.
Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz. Okay. Ted Cruz. Tell that dude to what AI he uses. He doesn't know. He doesn't probably use one at all.
You
Number
probably
two.
don't know nothing about
Yeah.
AI
Number two.
other than that they writing big checks.
Yeah. And number two. Look, I've been saying it. And it's gonna be hard to do with this administration. He's in the administration, so they're undermining the world court. We needed to set standards across the entire planet, and the way we could do this is with the world courts. And there's another court. I'm blanking on the on what's the name, but there's another court that is like a world court. These courts need to set policies, but we been undermining them when they try to put policy through or certain countries come out together and vote. We have an excuse, and it's and pun intended. We trump their their resolutions, and we have that overall power in these world courts. So sometimes it's like policy doesn't come through. We need AI policy across the entire world because we do have governments working, and they're working hard on becoming the best AI, but not just the best AI, but the best military artificial intelligence that is gonna go up to general intelligence. And general intelligence, as scientists and other technology people that are in that sector, general intelligence can be almost equal to a human intelligence, or it can surpass it in a few years. And just to say a correction, AI for us in the public has been 2 to 3 years already. Yes, um, but we do need policy, and we're not taking it seriously. Well, we're taking it seriously. Let me rephrase that. Our leadership is not taking it seriously because we could have utilized the World Court to make policy across the world. And you know who could have been leading that? Us, the United States, because we could have made the correct policies. Plus, we could have made certain conditions for ourselves. But we have a president that doesn't know the art of the deal.
Well, I mean, again, and you also got the tech bros, Elon Musk and all his
Hmm.
cronies, that are walking around through Washington just writing big checks. You know,
Yes.
And that's how you keep things, from getting, the guidelines, regulations, legislation. That's how you keep that stuff from happening. Just keep their bank accounts full. Make sure they got plenty
Yes.
of money so they can try to run for office again if they decide to, or whatever. You know what I'm
And
saying?
you know, and that works against society over trying to just fatten your pockets. We do have countries. There is a country that has um basically made clones through AI with the information that their top generals have, and they've been running experiments and military scenarios within labs. They're working on AI that is gonna be able to give military tactics and military strategies.
Oh yeah, we've been
It's
talking about that.
coming.
We've been talking about that as well. I remember there was one that they were developing down in China, where the Chinese had went and interviewed all these top generals about their, war strategies and all this stuff, and put all that info into it, an AI model. So I mean, again, this is all stuff that they doing, and this is why, like Pedro was saying, not only here in the United States, but around the world, we got to put some guidelines and regulations on this stuff.
Vote
Just
for
like they
Pedro,
did,
guys. Vote for
you know,
Pedro.
just like just like back in the day. I mean, again, they still low key doing it, cloning and all that stuff. But okay, they because we don't want them to clone and create a universal soldier. What are they doing? They can train it. Now they've created these drones. So now they still got somebody else that's going to do the work. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. We need these regulations, y'all. We
Across.
really do need these regulations. So
And a smart leader, just before we move on, because it's about to be that time in a few minutes, but a good leader would have strategized and would have utilized the world court, and use it as a partner to actually cross different border lines to make policy happen, especially policy that we believe in the United States is beneficial for the entire world.
well, I mean, again, at one point, we were, people looked to us for all that kind of stuff, but with this administration, they looking away from us. I mean, I don't know. Do you see the thing that Canada just did to America?
Mm-mm.
So the Alaskan Highway goes through Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're leaving the States, you got to go through Canada to get to Alaska.
Okay.
Any vehicle crossing to travel that highway up to Alaska with American plates on it, cars, $500 toll
Mm.
to travel on that road. Okay. I mean,
And
again,
this
because
is mhm.
this is the stuff that he did. He created this. Okay. That highway has been around for, I don't know, 30, 40 years, and
and
it's never been an issue.
and we know something about Trump. No matter if you're his friend, he's quick to slap you down. So you see what he's doing it across his
Yeah.
administration. He's doing it across the country. He's doing it across the world as well.
I mean, I'm sorry, but there's there's sector of folks on the right that just don't care about people. Period. They just, they all about whatever they want to do, whatever. So, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and jump into these last couple promos, and then, like I said, we got one more article for you. So we'll be right back. Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray-Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS Game Night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew.
Yo, Coffee Time crew, it's about to get live. Blind United's throwing it back, 1995. On July 26th, the place to be. From 1 to 6, come and party with we. Just 20 to 5, that's all you pay. To vibe with the drive the 90s way. Tootsie Roll, Running Man, and the Roger Rabbit. Biggie on the track, and we gotta have it. Stone Cold The Rock, bringing all the hype. Snapbacks, cross colors, the 90s type. So call your crew and step through the door. Blind United's 90 jam, can't ignore. Saturday the 26th, it's going down. Where the love is loud and the beats are style.
Well, again, come on, hang out with us at our Throwback 90s party. And don't forget to bring that broken, unused cane with you. Get entered into a drawing by donating a cane that you can't give. So anyway, this one here is going to kind of piggyback on what we were just saying it towards the end right there. There's just, some folks over there on the right that just don't care about, other folks, period. Check this out. This is something that Carol's old boy Abbott down there in Texas. Well, it ain't just him because there's other states that are doing it as well, but he's in the spotlight. Check this out.
Hey, Blind United crew. For our final cup this morning, we're looking at a decision in Texas that has put the state at the center of a national debate about how best to feed low-income children when school is out for the summer. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has vetoed a budget measure that would have allowed the state to join a permanent federal summer lunch program for low-income children. The program, called the Summer Electronic Benefits Transfer, or Summer EBT, provides qualifying families with an EBT card loaded with $120 per eligible child to pay for groceries during the summer months. The decision means Texas is turning down hundreds of millions in federal funds, and an estimated 3.75 million children across the state who would have qualified will not receive the benefit, in justifying the veto. The governor's office has stated that Texas already has an existing program to feed children during the summer, known as the Summer Meal Program. This alternative program, administered by the Texas Department of Agriculture, provides free meals to children at designated sites like schools, churches, and community centers. The administration's position is that this existing site-based program is sufficient to meet the need. However, the decision has drawn sharp criticism from anti-hunger advocates, food banks, and Democratic lawmakers. They argue that the two programs are not comparable. Critics point out that the site-based meal programs have historically had very low participation rates because they present significant barriers for families. Many parents cannot afford the gas or time off from work to transport their children to a specific site every day, and rural families may live miles from the nearest location. The EBT card program, they argue, bypasses these hurdles by allowing parents to buy groceries and prepare meals at home, making it a far more effective and dignified way to combat childhood hunger. Texas is one of more than a dozen states, all with Republican governors, that have chosen to opt out of the permanent federal program for now. This has made the issue a major political flashpoint, highlighting a deep ideological divide over the role and reach of federal social safety net programs. While proponents see it as a common-sense way to fight food insecurity, opponents have raised concerns about the administrative burden and have shown a preference for state-controlled solutions. This decision highlights a deep disagreement on the best way to address childhood hunger. We invite you to not only share your thoughts on the Texas governor's veto, but also share in the comments your ideas or experiences with programs that effectively support children and families in your own community. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Man, the truly sad part, here's another example of, again, they just don't care. I mean, look at it. You're denying kids lunch that they would normally be able to get in school, but they're out of school for the summer. You know, you talking about a state like Texas, especially, they not taking into account how many people in Texas actually live in very, very rural areas and communities and stuff. They just can't get in, I mean, they might have to ride a bus for, 40, 30, 40 miles, 20 miles, whatever, to get to a school. So you're going to send that bus down to that community every day and pick them up, take them to school, feed them, and then take them back. I mean, again, people just, this makes more sense. If there's an electronic benefit, then when they go shopping, when they come into town and go shopping, they got their money right there. They can do the shopping they need, and feed their families and stuff. For think about the people that live way out there like that and have to go to work. What are they supposed to do? Take off of work, drive all the way back home, get their kids? It's you just causing unnecessary havoc on people's lives, just like this bill is doing. You couldn't, man, SNAP, all this stuff, Medicare, Medicaid. I'm not Medicare. Well, they'd want that too, but right off the top, it's Medicaid. Here in California, we call it Medi-Cal. But anyway, it's still, you're taking benefits away from us. All for what? All for what? To give these people a larger tax break? It doesn't make sense. You're taking money away from people that need it to give it to people that don't need it. It just doesn't make any sense, man. Stop the cruelty. Where's the humanity in America today? I mean, that's what's wrong. We have no more humanity.
Hmm. Hmm.
So go for it.
Ed, you brought something to what you just said to me, made me think of something. We might have, and we see it and we're like, what's going on? What the, I ain't gonna say the word, but just thought about it. If you play nice and give the billionaires and the millionaires big tax breaks and cuts, you can do all you can in the White Office to pillage it, to take money, to undermine its authority, to transfer power to the executive branch. And those billionaires and millionaires are going to stay quiet because a lot of them, well, some of them are already supporting him. And then you have other ones just not really saying too much, you know? But what governor of a state is going to turn down help for their citizens, for especially children? Let's just put it that way. We have Republicans across the United States that want to cut off even the lunch programs, feed all children. Okay, we have this in California. No kid goes hungry. No kid has to go to the lunch line and have that shame that would tell them, well, you didn't pay your last month's tab. You can't eat. Think about that. Would you like your child? Like I say, put yourself in that children's shoes. Getting turned away because he owes some money. Put your shoes in that mom that has 3 kids and working and just did not have enough just to pay that little tab because she has to pay bills, food, working, shoes. You know what I mean? And
All that.
and why she's gonna get the shortest end of the stick? Why the poor people are gonna get the short end of the stick? We are talking about our rent is going up, products are going up. And I saw a post earlier talking about eggs going down. They went down a little bit. They were claiming 64%. I believe that's a lie. They were saying because of Trump, but it was Trump's in 2016 term that he cut policies and guidelines for these industries that created this problem. So he didn't found a solution to an existing problem. He created this problem and he tries to act like he fixed it. Yeah, he had to fix his mistake, but that's not an accomplishment. That's just you erasing that little mistake. You didn't do nothing great.
But see, that's his game, dog. He creates havoc, then he wants to step in there and so-called fix the havoc, and then take credit for fixing, but you're fixing what you created, fool.
It's called a false flag.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's totally stupid.
Yeah.
Even this whole thing is just stupid. Again, you're taking food out of the mouths of people that truly need it to give a tax break to people that don't have to worry about how much food costs.
Yes, yes. And another thing, Ed, remember the child tax credit? I know we had a Biden in office, but it was Republican ran Senate, right?
It
In the
parts of
second
it,
half,
yeah,
in the second half, right?
yeah, yeah.
Because that's when the child tax credit went away, right?
Well, I mean, again, in certain states, like I believe California still gives you a tax credit. The
No,
certain,
I'm talking
again,
federal. I'm talking
I
federal
know,
though.
I know you're talking about federal, but again, federal, again, they don't care, okay? Because they're in control right now. It's all about the upper class, and they don't
Yes,
give a
yes,
damn about
yes.
nobody else. They don't even realize the fact that everything they're doing is technically affecting the red states a lot more than what it's affecting the blue states.
Yes,
You
yes.
know what
But
I'm saying?
the point I was trying to make it was that the child tax credit was a populist bill across the aisle, across lines, meaning in the public, okay? Um, that child tax credit went away. That child tax credit lifted 50% of children under poverty, took them out of poverty. And taking that child tax credit put them back in poverty. So
But
we need
see,
to
that's
look.
defeating their purpose, Pedro. They want us to be in poverty. They want
Of
us to
course, of
be
course, I know.
at their back. They want us to be at their will. That they want us to be willing to take a
Yes.
job for $5 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Because we're
Hmm.
just trying to get whatever work we can. That's what they want. That's why
Yes,
they're
yes, I know
doing it.
that's what they want, but I'm trying to say is look at your government officials across the aisle and look how they vote. Because a lot of times, sometimes even in the left, they vote against our benefit and
Right.
help.
Well,
So so
and as you said, we talking about populist son. This stuff that they're doing is not popular.
mm-mm, at
People
all.
don't want what he's doing, but they're doing it anyway.
And
You
they
know,
call it a populist right, and there's
well,
no
he
populist
thinks
on the right.
he said he was going to do all this, so therefore, because he got elected, he got a mandate to do everything that he's doing. Ain't nobody mandated you to do this stuff. You told a bunch of lies, dude, while you were standing up there. Talking about you was only going after the criminals. You're going after everybody. Oh, prices are going to come down. No, they're going back up because of the havoc that you're causing on the system. Everything you're doing
Yep.
is causing more and more money. Whether it's the tariffs, whether it's you messing with our labor force, whatever or you cutting out our programs, whatever. Again, everything all to you so you can give more money to people that don't need it.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
crazy. It's just they're not listening to the people. They're not doing the populist thing. They're
They're not doing
doing
what Mega wants. They're not doing that at all either. That's their base. And think about it. Some of their base are in the deep red ruby states that require government assistance like SNAP, that have elderly people that watch Fox News, that get lied to, that need
right.
Social Security, need Medicare, and have nurses coming to their house. We just ran a story yesterday or the day before actually
Yeah.
about that program, about nurses coming to your home trying to get cut off. And if it doesn't happen in California because of our blue status, believe me, it's happening in the red state because that's what your leadership wants.
Well,
And
I mean, it's the whole thing. Look at the same thing. Those people voted for him based on his lies, right?
but they're upset though.
These farmers,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
these meat packing plants,
Mm-hmm.
owners voted for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yes.
But not realizing he was going to turn his back on them the minute he took that oath and became president again,
Mm-hmm.
all deals are off. Now it's all about what he wants. It's all about Project 2025.
And you know what? You want to know who warned us? His best friend Epstein
Well, I
warned us.
mean, and again, me, just knowing, in my opinion, the way he deals with stuff, he told us because all he does is lie. So, and all he does is project and deflect. So, whatever he's claiming that we were doing, look at what he was talking about Biden weaponizing the justice system. Okay. Biden wasn't doing that, but look at exactly what he's doing. He's arresting his enemies. He's weaponizing the justice system. But according to him, we did that. Okay. He talking
Mm-hmm.
about Biden doing this thing with his son and getting payoff. Look at this dude. Look at this
He,
dude,
oh
man. I
my
mean,
God, the hypocrisy. Like he keeps talking about Biden. He keeps trying to blame Biden about what's happening. And bro, you've been in there for 6 months, bro. Leave Biden
how
alone.
can you as a president actually do commercials for the products that you are now selling?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
As president, come on,
And
man.
as president, how does
As
it look?
president, it
How does it
just
look when our prior president has a diagnosis of cancer and you can't even sympathize and wish him well wishes? You throw a shot at him? Like it's crazy the lowness of this or administration. The low is steep too.
I'm telling y'all, he's trying to stay in office. Him sending the military and the National Guard, taking over the National Guard in
Mm,
California. You don't never hear when they say it in the news. You don't never hear him say about he federalized the California National Guard. You just hear him say that he federalized the National Guard. It's a test in California. If he can pass it in California, he know he can pass it the rest along around the rest of the country.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And
And
that's
plus,
exactly what he's
ICE
going to do.
ICE is also in other states as well as now. They're barely not really seeing it too much. Also another story that I haven't seen. Um, um, uh, Ukraine was able to attack a base deep into Russia, as simultaneously Trump is cutting weapons and aid and all that, and talking about is because he's against war, but in the same time he's giving Israel more and more money and raised the Pentagon to $1 trillion.
Well, I mean, again, he's just doing all this other stuff to deflect from all of the other stuff that's going on behind the scene. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? He don't want that stuff to be in the headlines, so he creates havoc in other areas. So we're looking at that, and we're not looking at what they're actually doing. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of his game, man. And
Mm-hmm.
what I'm really concerned with, Pedro, with him, if this whole thing doesn't get settled in a hurry about the National Guard, I'm really worried about what's going to happen when it comes time to do elections.
Yeah, plus he's talking about denaturalizing citizens, man.
All of that,
It's
all
getting
of that.
crazy. Like he wants to throw so much things at the wall, and he don't want you to see
He
what he's
literally
doing.
said the other day when he was down there with DeSantis looking at alligator Alcatraz, he literally made the statement that we have homegrown terrorists and whatever, and they should be deported as well. How are you going to deport? You're going to kick them out of America? These are homegrown Americans.
We
I mean, they
we
might
need
be
to see
bad.
data, man. With this dude is lie so much, we can't take nothing he says truthfully. Plus, one of them, look, honestly, you want to lock up immigrants in a gator and snake infested, type of showmanship that you probably want to do a show later, like Squid Games. But think about this. But what about the predators that kidnap kids? What about the child traffickers and all this? What about them? He's not worried about them.
Again, because you can't get to them. You getting to the people you can to meet that 3,000 people a day quota. A little twist on, I don't know if you've seen anything on it. That alligator Alcatraz, dog, them people are going to be intense. You hear me? They're gonna be out in the middle of the swamp, in the middle of in tents, in the heat, in that.
Inhumane. Look.
It's so inhumane, man. It's ridiculous. So anyway, we are at the end of our
class of citizens.
Well, I mean, again, in their mind, there's always been a second class, upper class, and then everybody else. But anyway, we at the end of our show today. Again, I apologize for yesterday, and hopefully we got all our issues worked out. We will be back again tomorrow. Just FYI, we will not be here Friday, being the 4th. It is a holiday, so of course we're going to let everybody enjoy their holiday. So again, we'll be back tomorrow. Please like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, all that other good stuff. Whatever platform you're on, just handle that stuff for us right quick. It really does help. So everybody enjoy the rest of your hump day. As my brother George would say, hump the ones you love. And we'll talk to you on the next one. Have a blessed day. Oops, I ain't even out yet. Hold on. Let me get up there. I'm sitting there doing my exit thing.
But yeah, guys, do all that good stuff. Like, subscribe, comment. And for those that comment, thank you as well. We're happy to bring you some of these stories. And remember, these are our opinions. And then, voice your opinions down in the comments as well. All opinions are welcome.
Yeah. As well as if you got a topic that you would like us to discuss, I mean, get at us, info@blindunited.org. I mean, we're just coming up with this on our own. We'd love to do what you want to hear about, so let us know what you want to hear about. So anyway, I'm there now. My brother, thank you. You guys coming in right quick, since I'm overtime anyway. Katie, Tisha, all the folks that have bought T-shirts already. Again, thank you. For those of you who ain't got T-shirts, man, y'all need to take advantage of this introductory price. I got till our color 90s party in the 26th. You can get them for that introductory price of just $15. info@blindunited.org. We will talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great day.